Can you see how it's not blending? Hey everyone, it's Sahar. It's been such a long time since I filmed in my proper setup, so I'm so glad to be back, and hopefully I'll make new videos and upload them a lot more than I have been recently. I actually wasn't planning to do this video at all, but yesterday I went to Westfield Stratford and they had a new Morphe store there, which I've been to already once, but this time I saw the James Charles palette and I was like, I want to get that, it looks so good, and I just want to make a video about it because literally that morning I had no clue that I was going to buy this palette, and I was watching Raw Beauty Christie's like review of it, and she had some problems, but I wanted to see for myself how it would be like for the average consumer, because these large YouTubers are really talented and obviously they usually know how to make products work. So even if it's a really bad palette, they can still make a really good look with it. I wanted to see, as a small YouTuber, as a normal consumer, your average consumer, I wanted to see how the James Charles X Morphe palette would perform on me. And I do live in the UK, so this palette was a little bit more expensive than it would have been in the US, but let's just go and jump into the video and I'll give you a bit more information about the palette and hopefully I do a nice look with it. So guys, before we jump into the video, if you are new here, please do subscribe to my channel since I'm a small YouTuber and it does help me out a lot, and give me a big thumbs up. Make sure the post notifications are on, so press the bell icon down below and you won't miss any uploads from me because I will be doing quite consistently. So this is the palette. I absolutely love the packaging. All I've done with this is just opened it and looked inside. I've only swatched 3 of the shades and the rest of them I haven't touched. Even when I went inside the Morphe store, they didn't I didn't really like even touch the shades at all. I just picked this up and bought it. I personally do not really watch James Charles a lot, but I do appreciate the fact that he's become so successful despite how young he is. Although I do appreciate him, I'm in no way obliged to give this a great review or a bad review. I'm just going to give you my honest, brutal thoughts of anything that I like. If I go through any issues or if I love something, I'll let you know. Especially the bigger YouTubers, you never really know because they're friends with James, and if I was friends with James then obviously I'm not going to be saying bad things about the palette, but since I do not know him, I'm just gonna act like it's a normal palette and let's just begin. Sorry if you can barely see some things. Even in James's own video, which I saw, the only people's videos I saw was James's video and Raw Beauty Christie's. So I'll link them down below if you would like to see them too. So the packaging is just white and it says Morphe X James Charles in a really nice font. I don't know if you can see that. If you can't, I'll insert some pictures. And then of course you see James's face on here, and I really love the packaging. It's just totally me. It's nice and white, and yeah, so on the back it just has a little sort of note that he wrote. I'm not going to read it, but which is nice. So it says, "Hi sisters, welcome to my palette. I love this and I made this palette for you," and all that stuff. So I don't think it's important to read it, but yeah. It's actually called the Artistry palette, which I really like because it inspires people to do more colourful looks. I don't really do that on my channel. I haven't really done a really colourful look before. So I'm going to try and unleash my inner artist, as it does say in the palette, and see how it goes. So as I've said, I've already kind of like touched the inside, like on top of the palette. So that's why it has some fingerprints on it. And when you open it, it has bubble wrap. So here's the palette. In my background it kind of blends in if it doesn't reflect on the light, but this is what it looks like. It just says Morphe X James Charles in that same font, but this time it's black and it's like really minimalistic, which I love. And then it has a really nice magnetic seal. It does not have a mirror, and when you open it, it comes with the plastic thing, I don't know, sheet, which has all the names of the shades on it, which I personally do not like having the sheet, but I guess so the palette takes up less space, it probably makes sense. And I like the fact that it's not actually attached to the palette, because some palettes are, some of these things are attached, which end up being annoying. Obviously I'm going to keep this for YouTube purposes, so it has all the shade names, but usually if you don't care, you can throw it out. So this is the inside of the palette, and I really like the colour selection. So at the top here it just says Unleash Your Inner Artist, which I love the saying of. So the top 2 rows are the sort of like wearable shades of your everyday average sort of warm tones, In the middle are the shades you kind of use the most. So it's great that you have the white and the black. Alright, basically whatever look you want to do, you can do with this palette, which is amazing. I love that. And then the bottom two rows are really lovely. Like, they have really bright, vibrant colours. I personally haven't used Morphe shadows recently. I've used them like when the 35O first came out, and it still had the old logo and the old packaging. So yeah, I haven't really tried the new formula. One thing James did say in his video was that a lot of these are pressed pigments, which means that you have to pack them on and then blend them out. So kind of like Subculture, because Subculture was pressed pigments. That palette kind of picked up on the concealer. And James also did say that the shades work better with a eyeshadow primer, not a concealer, like kind of something like a MAC paint pot. And I don't have that today, but the only eyeshadow primer I have is the Urban Decay Primer Potion. Usually I use my concealers, but I'm gonna try that and let's see how that happens. Personally, I don't like the fact that you cannot use your own products, especially for the normal consumer. I do not have MAC paint pot. A lot of other bigger YouTubers have MAC paint pot, but I do not. So what do I do, you know? So that aspect I'm not that fond of, because it's not great that I should buy another product to like kind of use this palette to its full potential. I'm just trying to be as informative as I can. The Urban Decay Primer Potion, I don't have the full size because I don't really buy it, but I just have a sample, so I'm just going to use it. Okay, so I think that's alright. I'm just going to set my eyes now with Laura Mercier powder. But yeah, I always prefer to set my eyes because they do end up creasing if I don't. Even if I set them, they still crease, which is really annoying. It's just the way my eye shape is, I guess. Okay, so first thing I'm going to do is use a transition shade in my crease. I'm just going to use one of the larger pans, this one called Tune, for Face Tune. It's very yellow. It's not really a transition shade for my skin tone, but okay, that doesn't show up that much, so I'm just gonna go in with a bit of a deeper shade, just the one next to it called Code James. It's not that pigmented for like how much I dipped into it, because look how much goes on the brush. I don't know if you can tell, but that's a lot. And then okay, never mind. Definitely if you pack it on like tapping motions, it's a lot more pigmented than if you like swipe. Unluckily, I do not have a lot of lid space, so I really struggle to make looks that are like really cool, like cut creases and all of that. So I'm just taking this shade 518, which is here. I'm packing it on the inner part of my eye. And then also doing the same sort of thing, but right next to it, I'm taking this shade called Love That. The palette's so big I can't get it in. Oh wait, I just dipped into the wrong shade. The one up here. I guess I'll mix them together now since it's on my brush. That is really pigmented. And then just blend it a little bit. They are looking a little bit patchy. I feel like they're a bit difficult to blend, maybe. I'm just dipping back into that orange shade we used called 518 and intensifying that, kind of blending the two together. Okay, I don't know if this will work, but I'm gonna try and do a blue. So I'm just gonna dip into the shade, oh my god no, here, called Brother. I'm just gonna blend it out now. I'm just intensifying the colours a little bit. Okay, I don't know if you can see it on camera, but I'm having some issues with blending. So the blue shade called Brother, literally, I don't know if you can see how it's like kind of stuck. I've been blending it out for ages and it's still like, I had to turn off the camera for a sec and then look in the actual mirror, blend, and then it's like almost not blending that well. I don't know if you can tell. Let me know if you can or not. And what I'm going to do now is just dip into the colour Cola, and it's just this blue over here, and put that in the outer V. Kind of bring it up like that. I think I'm just going to place all the shadows, and then like the purple one again, then the orange one, and then just do a full blend. Okay, let's try and blend now. Can you see how it's not blending? Maybe it just takes forever to blend them out because like they do blend out eventually, but it's just really long. I think it's just because they're colours, and maybe I haven't worked with colours that much. Okay, I think that's the best we're gonna get. I'm just gonna do a cut crease anyway. The colour Canvas, just put that on my brow bone. It's just the first one here. Because as I said, I do not have a lot of lid space. And right now it's like the colours are so high to my brows that I have no definition. Okay, this is pigmented. Okay, so now I'm just gonna cut the crease out with my Revolution Conceal and Define Concealer. I'm just gonna do like a half cut crease. I'm just gonna set that with the colour Flashback, which is just the large pan of white. I've lost a lot of the intensity, so I'm gonna go ahead and rebuild the colours. I'm just taking this brush, they're all from like, most of them are from BH Cosmetics, some are from Morphe, and just look like this so I can gently blend a little bit. I'm going to try not to blend too much now, just enough to kind of merge them together because I still want the intensity. Do something completely daring. Okay, I'm going to use a green shade. So it's either going to be Hello or Cape Cod. So this one here is Hello and this one's Cape Cod. Hello and Cape Cod. Does it say Cape Cod or Cape God? Because it looks like a C to me. Hello. And I'm just gonna use my finger to put that on first. That looks really pigmented. And then I'll use a brush to kind of do like the edges of it. Okay, that is very bright. There's still a lot on my finger. Actually, I don't think the shade Hello works that much with this eye. So I'm just going to use the one under it, which is Cape Cod, and just kind of put that in the middle. Okay, so that's alright for now. We'll leave it like that. Now I'm just going to pat on the shade Boutique, which is this colour there. Put that right on the outside. Just to kind of tie everything together. Because this cut crease is supposed to be like a half cut crease. Here's the finished look. I'll come back with my face done and kind of, you know, when I look a bit better. Hey guys, I'm back. I've pretty much just done my foundation, concealer and powder, and I'm back to do my lower lash line. Okay, I'm just going to take the yellow colour here, which is called B. Okay, so it just looks like that. I'm just going to take the colour Love That again. And actually, I think I'm just going to drag it out. Yeah, I look a bit crazy right now. I'm going to take the colour Mary and use that to kind of blend this other shade down. I really don't look good with like a lower lash line like this, so I use the shades Tune and Code James. And then finally, I'm just going to take a bit of the shade Artistry, which is that glittery sort of purple one. Just kind of put that right on the inner corner. I don't want to make it too intense, so I'm just going to pick up a little bit. Okay guys, so that's pretty much it for the eyes. I'll come back with the finished look. Okay guys, so this is the finished look. I really like it. So I just put on some lashes and did the rest of my face. So my bronzer and all that stuff and my lips. So I really like the overall look. When I was making like the eye look and I was blending and stuff, I was a bit like iffy, but overall I really love the look I made. And I know it's not the most creative because all these makeup artists are so much better than me, but I try my best to try and make something a bit different than what I usually do. By the way, if you guys are wondering, I'm wearing Cocoa Lashes by Queen Bee and Morphe liquid lipstick in Jealousy. And yeah guys, so I really like it. I think the shadows worked really nicely towards the end. After the blending process, I think it's pretty normal to have quite bright shadows be difficult to blend because of the pigments and all that stuff, and as I said, these are pressed pigments. Overall, I think £39 isn't bad, but I mean, obviously I have a lot of eyeshadows already, so I could find these shadows in my collection already, but I wanted to get it for you guys and so I could just try it out. And I think if you don't have a lot of eyeshadow palettes, you'd really enjoy this palette because you can literally keep it for ages and you can make every single look, pretty much every single look that you want to make with this palette, which is really great because at the end of the day that is so useful because no one wants to be using several different palettes just to make one eye look. I literally looked at the shades and I was thinking of colours, and every time, like, I was looking the other way and I was thinking of colours, and every time I turned around, that colour's there. Like, I couldn't find a colour in my head that this one didn't have. So I am extremely happy for James, and hopefully you guys like this palette if you pick it up. I think it's worth it because £39 is about, because there's 39 shades, that's like £1 a shade, which is kind of pricey if you think about it, but I mean, like, it's not bad because the quality is really good. And obviously if you live in America or other places, it's $39, so that's even cheaper, which is better value for money. So yeah, the shelf life, I guess, for this is 1 year, so it will last even longer than that. So yeah guys, hope you enjoyed this video. Do let me know if you have any questions down below. I'm still going to use this palette because obviously I've only used a few different shades. I haven't used the whole thing. Do ask anything if you have any questions and I'll let you guys know if I change my opinion on this. But overall, would I recommend this? Yes, I would. So thanks so much for watching guys. Please don't forget to subscribe and like the video if you enjoyed it. Turn on post notifications by pressing the bell icon down below. And yeah guys, thanks so much for watching. Hope you enjoyed this. Bye!